Vados. Vados is an angel and the attendant of Champa, the Hakaishin of the sixth universe. Vados is the attendant and martial arts teacher of the god of destruction of Universe 6, Champa. She is a daughter of the Grand Minister and the elder sister of Whis. Over 1,000 years ago, Vados trained her younger brother Whis. Personality. Vados is shown to be quite mischievous as Whis accused her of getting Beerus and Champa the same birthday cake, knowing full well it would escalate to a battle between them. She just laughed, showing she's entertained when they fight. Even so, she is very dutiful as she stepped in to stop Champa when he lost his temper to the point he no longer cared the universe they were fighting in was destroyed. Vados is a kind-hearted being, and can sometimes be pretty straightforward. She also often teases Champa for being overweight. She is also the one who politely introduced Champa to Goku after the latter asked who he is. She also displays concern with her god of destruction's physique and health problems, as well as his selection of diet. Examples are shown when she and Champa walk together in a forest, with Champa tiring out very quickly, leading Vados to point out his obesity as the cause of his low stamina and why he couldn't keep up with her anymore. Another is when he was drinking a sugary beverage between meals, which also lead Vados to declare in skipping breakfast dinner tomorrow to even out her master's newly gained weight. This essentially makes her Champa's dietitian as well. Like her younger brother Whis, she tends to love consuming different foods. It is also said by Vegeta that Vados walks leaving no openings for an attack, stating that she must be as strong as at least Whis. She is also eloquent, respectful, wise, and can be rather remorseless when it comes to the things which she is responsible for, or at the very least are aware of, as she is seen destroying a planet when Champa commanded her to without batting an eye. After the Grand Minister announces that the losing universes in the Tournament of Power will be obliterated and that only the angels will be preserved, Vados simply closes her eyes and silently smiles when Champa confronts her about it, which shows that she does not openly show affection towards him. She also sarcastically cried at the thought of him being erased during the tournament. However, despite all her teasing, Vados did truly care for Champa to at least some extent, as shown by her respectfully bowing to him when he and the rest of Universe 6 were eventually erased. She is a very composed and insightful individual. Noteworthy, she is the only angel of the other universes who has any respect for Goku, while most of the attending destroyers, Mosco and Herace being the only apparent exceptions, mutually hated and blamed Goku for the Tournament of Power. Vados responds by stating that they are all in debt to Goku. She pointed out that Xeno was already going to erase all of them with their universes completely, but Goku's closeness with Xeno was able to convince the Omni King to give the underdeveloped universes a chance to survive by winning the Tournament of Power, which they all ignore. At the same time, she can also be rather mischievous, as she once intentionally instigated a fight between Beerus and Champa, as she made a birthday cake with only one puff fruit on it. This is pointed out by Whis when Beerus and Champa are fighting. It appears that Vados has a closer relationship with Whis than with her other siblings, as she chose to join Universe 7 section of the audience after Universe 6 was erased. When this was brought up by her sister Margarita, somewhat accusingly, possibly questioning her loyalty given that it was Universe 7 who causes her universe's erasure, she seemed nervous in explaining her reason. This choosing to side with Universe 7 could be due to the fact that the two spend more time with each other than with other angels due to their universes being twins. Appearance. Vados towers over Champa, maintaining a similar height to her brother, Whis. She has long white hair, which she keeps in a ponytail, light blue skin, and light blue eyes. She wears a green uniform with a black vest, which has golden trim over the top of it. Much like Whis, she also has a halo-like disc around her neck. Vados is a tall humanoid with pale blue skin, violet eyes, and long white hair, similar to Whis, although she wears it as a high ponytail. She carries a long scepter with a gem that floats above it, and she usually holds her staff in her right hand. Around her neck levitates a large light blue ring similar to the Grand Priest's. Her attire consists of green robes with puffy shoulders, a black cuirass with the same white and orange circle decorations as the god of destruction Champa, and a red sash. She also wears green tights and white high-heeled shoes with black soles. Abilities. Vados has claimed to be stronger than Whis, her younger brother. While Whis refutes this statement, claiming it's been 1,000 years since Vados trained him, Vados was confident in her own strength to suggest she prove her superiority to her brother. Vados also has access to unique abilities centered around the use of her staff, such as making planets explode without the use of ki blasts. She also shows the ability to create barriers strong enough to withstand ki blast from Champa, an arena, and even breathable atmosphere, through the user of her staff. Like Whis, Vados is much stronger than the Hakaishin she attends, Champa, able to easily get up behind and disable him with a simple chop to the neck. Like the frost demons, she can also survive in the vacuum of space, which allows her to freely traverse the cosmos without the aid of a spaceship or spacesuit. Revival of F-Arc. Champa and Vados arrive at a planet. Champa orders Vados to destroy the planet, and annoyed Vados says that he should destroy a planet himself every now and then. With a simple tap of her staff, Vados destroys the planet. However, Champa notes the destroyed planet was not their destination, to which Vados says that it wasn't the right place from the beginning, much to Champa's chagrin. Vados, however, defends herself saying that he would not have listened to her. Champa orders Vados to go to the next planet. Champa and Vados begin traveling to their next destination. While traveling, Champa and Vados run into Beerus and Whis. Beerus asks Champa why he is in the 7th universe since the Hakaishin of the 6th universe has no business in his universe. Champa replies that he is merely visiting and expresses surprise that Beerus is awake. Not believing Champa, Beerus asks the 6th universe Hakaishin if he is trying to steal food from the 7th universe, but Champa claims that the 6th universe's food is superior to the 7th universe, expressing no interest in the 7th universe's food and states that he is merely checking things out. However, Beerus knows Champa is lying and becomes suspicious. Whis informs Beerus that they have a place to be at while Vados informs Champa that they must go. Beerus and Champa decide to settle things next time. Champa and Vados leave. While traveling, Champa asks Vados how many do they have, to which Vados replies that they have 5. Champa hopes that Beerus doesn't realize what he is up to until he has them all on Snickers. Hakaishin Champa arc. Time after the revival and defeat Frieza, Vados and the Hakaishin Champa takes a visit to both Beerus and Whis at Beerus planet. After their landing on the planet, Vados and Champa walk their way to meet the Universe 7 Hakaishin and his attendant, but they come across them while Beerus was rampaging against Goku and Vegeta and accidentally Champa is involved in the fighting. Once the fight is over, everyone present go to Beerus Palace where both Hakaishins and attendants have a competition where they taste the food that they brought from their respective universes. After Beerus and Whis taste Universe 6 Don bird eggs, they give to Vados and Whis some cup noodles, which they find delicious. Once Beerus tells Champa from which planet the cup noodles came from, Vados is requested by Champa to look if there is a planet Earth in their Universe 6, but, unfortunately due to a senseless war, humanity was lead to extinction, angering the Hakaishin. This lead to both gods of destruction taunting each other, which end up in both having a fist fight, but they were stopped by both Vados and Whis arguing that if the fight between the two deities would lead to the annihilation of both Universe 6 and Universe 7. They finally settled that a 5-members team tournament should take place to decide Universe 7 Earth's fate, and that if Universe 7 were to come on top they would also receive Super Dragon Balls. After deciding the location and rules of the tournament, Vados and Champa leave Beerus planet, returning to their universe to take the 6 Super Dragon Balls they have and then bringing them to the place where the tournament is going to take place. After reaching the empty planet, Vados starts to create a barrier that will surround the battle arena, an atmosphere, the arena, and finally snack stands by order of the glutton Hakaishin. After all participants and guests from Universe 7 arrive at the nameless planet, Vados handles a written test to all the participants from both Universe 6 and 7 to measure who has the minimum requirements to be part of the matches. Power. Manga and anime. Being Champa's martial arts teacher, Vados is extremely powerful. Her level of power is even much greater than that of Champa's own, making her the strongest being in Universe 6. Vados claims to be slightly stronger than Whis, but Whis objects and tells her that it has been already a millennium since they trained together, indicating that when they trained together, Vados held superior power over her younger brother. It appears, nevertheless, that Vados is at least Whis' equal in combat at the present time. Despite Whis' objection, Vados confidently asked him to see which one of them is stronger now. As shown in the past battle between Beerus and Champa, Vados is strong enough to easily knock Champa out with a single blow to the neck. Vados displays the ability to destroy an entire planet from a distance simply by tapping her staff. She was later shown strong enough to be able to instantly drag 6 Super Dragon Balls at once, which are the size of planets, while she was flying to the nameless planet. In the manga, Vados was unaffected by Rumshi's battle roar, which could stun gods of destruction and knock out Supreme Kais. She was also able to observe Dispo's movements with full clarity, whereas Champa could not. It should be noted that despite Vados' astronomical power, she is still well below the likes of the Grand Minister, and far below Xeno and future Xeno, and thus must always be respectful and courteous when in their presence. Video games. In Xenoverse 2, when fighting her, Hit notes the immense pressure given off by her power appears to be overwhelming. Whis also mentions that she was stronger than him 1,000 years ago, but that it is anyone's guess which one of them is stronger now. Statements by authors and guidebooks. Vados' profile for tournament preparation states that her true strength may be above Whis. Techniques and special abilities. Flight, the ability to fly with the use of Ki. Ki Blast, the most basic form of energy attack. In Xenoverse 2, Vados can fire Ki Blasts from the tip of her staff. Immortality as an angel, Vados can only be killed if she is eradicated, which will only occur if she violates the angel laws. Autonomous Ultra Instinct as an angel, Vados is always in the perfected Ultra Instinct state. Warp, a transportation technique used to travel anywhere she wishes. Appears as her evasive skill in Xenoverse 2. Divination, Vados is capable of using her staff to look anywhere in the universe. Like her brother, she will close one eye while using the other to focus on looking through her staff as shown when she was looking for Universe SIXS Earth. Strike of Revelation, a chop to the neck used by Vados to knock down Champa during his battle with Whis. Finishing blow, a weaker version of Strike of Revelation used by Vados to punish Champa when he tried to fight Whis in Xenoverse 2 during the Hero Colosseum saga, while Whis did the same to Whis. As it is weaker, it only painfully stunned Champa. Time Rewind in Dragon Ball fusions, Vados can use Time Rewind just like her brother as one of her special moves. Energy Shield, Vados is able to create an extremely large and powerful energy shield that can last for over 5 days. It was strong enough to resist key blasts from Champa without a scratch. Matter Manipulation, Vados possesses matter manipulating powers, able to create an arena, food stands filled with food, portraits of Whis and Champa, audience stands, and even a breathable atmosphere, which would require manipulation on the molecular level on the nameless planet. In Xenoverse 2, she can also summon her staff out of thin air like her brother can in the main series, and her father can in the manga. Requiem of Destruction, Vados' super attack in the arcade game Dragon Ball Heroes and ultimate skill in Xenoverse 2, where she traps the opponent in a dome of green energy and detonates it. Destruction's Concerto, Vados spawns green orbs of energy and launch them at the opponent. Depending on the variation, the orbs can take different forms. Destruction's Concerto has 3 versions. Destruction's Concerto, Starfall, spawn 2 green orbs of energy and launch them at the opponent. One of Vados' super skills in Xenoverse 2. Destruction's Concerto, Comet, spawn a slow-moving green orb that chases the opponent. One of Vados' super skills in Xenoverse 2. Destruction's Concerto, Meteor, spawn a green orb of energy behind the opponent that explodes instantly when it is touched. One of Vados' super skills in Xenoverse 2. Destruction's Conductor, Vados waves her glowing staff to deliver an unblockable attack. If any Destruction's Concerto orbs are present, they will home onto a targeted opponent. One of Vados' super skills in Xenoverse 2. Equipment. Angel Attendant staff, like her brother and the other attendants of the gods of destruction, Vados possesses a staff which can be used for a variety of functions. In Xenoverse 2, Vados can channel her ki into it to fire ki blasts and launch her various Destruction Concerto energy sphere techniques. She also uses it as part of her Destruction's Conductor.
If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.